It's 2:30, so we might get started and then I'll just admit people as they come on in. So thanks for joining us this afternoon for the network meeting on menu must-haves. It's our last one for term one already. I can't believe that term one's nearly finished, but also excited for the break as always. So just before we get started though, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands in which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. I'm presenting from Meanjin, the traditional land of the Turrbal people. So I think most of you probably have met me before at these meetings, but just if you haven't, I'm Naomi and I'm the project manager for the Healthy Tuckshops program. I am a dietitian by trade, but I've spent a lot of time in rural and remote health, and also some business stuff as well. So I was trying to think of something different I could say about me today. And so I thought I would just share my favourite tuck shop items from when I was at school. So I went to school in New South Wales, so they were always called the canteen as the first thing. In primary school, I don't remember getting many canteen orders, but I do remember having the frozen or like orange juice cups, which I still see around in canteens and tuck shops today. So I love that they've stood the test of time. And in high school, this is going to make you laugh, but my favorite tuck shop item would buy a plain white roll and buy a sausage roll and would put the sausage roll in the bun and eat like a sausage roll bun sandwich with sauce. Yeah, I think if I said to my kids, hey, how about you have this for lunch today? They would be like, you're crazy, and they would never do it. But I'm very happy to see that kind of tuck shop and canteen menus have come a long way since the 90s in what they serve and what they offer to kids. So if you haven't been to one of these sessions before, I just run you through a quick update, talk you through a few new resources that we have. We go through the topic of the day. We should have time for some questions or discussions today. But if we do run out of time, feel free to email or pop it on the group Facebook. Or give me a call. I just ask for everyone to have their microphones on mute, which I think everyone does anyway, just because it does pick up a lot of background noise when I am recording it. But feel free to come off mute and ask me a question. I do try and monitor the chat, but I also forget to do it as well. So yeah, if you've got a burning question, just come off and ask your question. Chrissy also likes me to get everyone just to put the name of your school in the chat if you can. We just report back to Health and Wellbeing Queensland, the Department of Education regions that we reach. We don't tell them who's here or what school you're from. It just makes it easier for us to cross-reference who was here. So yeah, if you can do that, that's awesome. If you're driving and you can't access the chat function, then don't worry about it either. Chrissy's pretty smart, she'll work it out. So a bit of an update. I don't know why I've got red marks on my screen there, if you can see them. But just a bit of an update since we last had one of these meetings. We've done a displaying drinks in the tuck shop. So this is a free resource that is available through Health and Wellbeing Queensland funding. It just talks about how best to set out your fridge so that you can be promoting the healthier drinks options where possible. We also published a bit of a recipe demo video as well, which is called 3 Easy and Healthy Tuck Shop Bowls. I've got those recipes in a few slides, but that's a 2-minute video that just shows you how to pull together some different bowls, which are really popular in schools. There's also a new member resource that's about reducing waste in your tuck shop, and there's a wastage log that you can download as part of that resource as well. So these three recipes are the three bowl recipes that we just did the video on. So we've got a teriyaki beef, a veggie nourish bowl, and a Mexican chicken burrito bowl. So just shortly after we finished making that video, I ate that middle one, the veggie nourish bowl, and it was very good. There's also a recipe that's been added to the website for snack packs, which you don't really need a recipe for, but sometimes it's good to see some different ideas of what you can throw in those snack packs. Great for kids, also great for teachers doing playground duty and just needing a snack to have a bit of a munch on as they go about playground duty. So, thinking about your menu, what are some of the most popular items that you have on your menu? You can come off mute and say it out loud or pop it in the chat if you want.
Sushi.
Sushi, yep, sushi is always a popular one.
I've got salad wraps at the moment with either ham or chicken.
Yep, nice. It's the right temperature for the salad wraps.
Mhm.
Mini beef pies are always popular. Burrito, yep,
We have a homemade chicken teriyaki bowl.
yum, nice, sounds good. Sushi, crunchy chicken wraps, spaghetti and meatballs, bento boxes, bolognese, teriyaki chicken, burgers. Yep, awesome. Chicken, some chicken wedges. Can't believe no one said anything about a sausage roll on a white bun, but anyway. All right, so it's great. It's good that people know what some of their popular menu items are as well. So that's excellent. So I got some data from Flexi Schools, and they did a bit of a rundown of the top items sold in Queensland schools in 2025. So this is just from the schools who use Flexi Schools, so they can collect that data. And so the top 11 include juice, milk, sushi, muffins, burgers, a ham and cheese sandwich or toasty, butter chicken, popcorn, watermelon cups, apple slinkies, and spaghetti bolognese. So I did get some data from Schools 24, and their data was quite similar. But they also had pizza included on that list as well. So what I love about this list is when we kind of compare it to Smart Choices, most of those top items being sold in Tuckshops are green, which is really great. So we'll talk through some of these items and have a bit of a closer look. And we did often when I ask people what's your most popular menu item, a lot of schools also say pizzas as well. So I've popped pizza on the list to talk about. Um, all right, so some menu must-have. So when we're talking about butter chicken, the things that are really great about it, it can be made in bulk. You can add additional vegetables, so say cubes of sweet potato, pumpkin, or potato to bulk it out. You can freeze it in small batches with the rice so it's ready to be reheated and served. You can also make the entire batch dairy-free or gluten-free to save making multiple batches to meet different dietary requirements. So, for example, if you just eliminate popping milk in it, evaporated milk, then it makes it a dairy-free option, or you can substitute that in for something else. So pasta bolognese, while everyone has their own bolognese recipe, it's really common to see them on menus and for good reason. Again, make it in batches, bulk it out with veggies, and you can freeze in either large or smaller batches. It's a familiar food for a lot of students, and so it's often comforting to those with complex needs or those who are unwilling to try new things. We would recommend that tuck shops consider having a daily pasta dish, especially if you're in a high school, and it can rotate between a bolognese, pesto pasta, mac and cheese. I guess particularly when we're thinking about high schools, like they are big, and pasta is a great way to fill them up. In a previous presentation, I have compared the price of making your own mac and cheese to like versus the cost of buying one in, and it's definitely better for your financials to be able to make it. The same is the case for pasta bolognese, so it's much better for your tuck shop's bottom line if you can make those dishes. So I popped burrito on here as well, and it was good to see some people had popped burrito in the chat. So I popped it here as a bit of a must-have menu item as well. Maybe consider it as a daily special, so you're not making it every day, but you can do it once a week. Beef is the most common flavour, and you can add beans and veg throughout that cooked beef mince mix, and you can consider serving it with additional vegetables as well. You can make bulk mince, and then separate it and flavor it to create both a bolognese mince and a Mexican style mince. Or you can just make a big batch of kind of Mexican style mince and use it for other Mexican dishes. The advantage of something like this is, again, you can make and freeze that mince, or you can actually make them and freeze them in batches ready to go. And the advantage of a burrito is that you can prep it and keep it in the hot box for a while, whereas other Mexican dishes like nachos need to be assembled just before service so that they don't go soggy. So it's a bit more time efficient to have something like a burrito on your menu. Some other mains to consider as well. So ham and cheese toasties. Toasties can be made ahead. In terms of the sandwich, make it ahead. You can keep it in the fridge or even pop it in the freezer. Again, it's a very familiar food to kids who might have some of those diversions to food. And it can be made in a bit of a production line. Like I've, been to schools where they'll do, they've got the whole bench covered with the bread. They go and they flick all the ham on. They go and they put the slice of cheese on, fold it up, wrap it up, freeze it, and it's kind of ready to go for a very quick service. So a pizza, which if you've been to these before, you know that I do love a good pizza on a tuck shop menu. You can make it in slabs and cut it after cooking, or you can make smaller individual portions, whatever works for your tuck shop. Pizza can be prepped and frozen where you cook it on the day of service. Again, it's a great production line offering where you can have everything out ready and go flick, 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 flick. So it is important though that you use portion control tools, so use a cup measure. So don't just eyeball the amounts of cheese and ham that you're putting on it. It creates consistency so that every pizza looks the same and someone's not complaining that they've got more, less cheese than the person next to them. But it's also better for the tuck shop's bottom line if every pizza is going out looking the same with the same amount of ham and the same amount of cheese on it. You may not have the space to cook a lot of pizzas, so consider doing them as like a pre-order option, so you know exactly how many you're making. Or consider it as a theme day, so maybe an end of term pizza day, where you can promote it and get people interested in the day. And if you're going to do like a pizza theme day, I wouldn't worry about having very many other menu options on that day. It's just the pizza, so then your staff can be concentrating on making those pizzas or cooking them and getting them out. So burgers, they're always a popular choice, but they do have some downfalls as well. They take up a lot of room in your hot box, and they lose their appeal. Like in a high school, if say you put them out in the hot box before first break and they don't get sold and they're staying there till second break, they have lost that bit of appeal by the time second break comes around. If you can, always serve with some salad. So the smart choice rating depends on the patty that you use. So for example, if you're always going to use a crumbed chicken, the rating won't ever get higher than an amber because of that crumbed patty. So set a number and make to that so that you don't come in and find out you've got to make 67 burgers before first break today. And if you're in a large school and you're making large number of burgers, you might want to limit the amount of individualization that kids can make to those burgers. So if you're trying to do a lot of different ones, so these ones are without cheese, this one's without tomato, this one doesn't have mayo, it does take you lose momentum in that production line by catering to all of those individual orders. So just try and reduce that individualization where you can. And again, consider a burger day where other menu items are limited so that your staff can concentrate on getting those burgers out via a production line. If you promote it well, it will be popular, and theme days are often really great for your Tuckshops bottom line. So I can see some questions in the in the chat about toasties, so I'll come back to those. Some other menu must-haves, so sushi. So we've talked about sushi before, and unless you're a sushi pro, buying in sushi is often more time efficient way to have sushi on your menu as opposed to you making it. The downside of this is that when you buy sushi in, you can't often put 100% markup on it because it just makes it too expensive. And so that's something to consider. I have been to a few schools recently where they've felt the sushi wasn't as popular as it once was. So simply by changing the look or the presentation of the sushi, so maybe making it like a sushi triangle, can be enough to kind of re-spark interest in that product. If you are somewhere where you don't have a supplier that can present you with some freshly made sushi, sushi sandwiches or sushi bowls may be an option to for you to be able to get some sushi style products on your menu. It saves you the rolling part, but kids are essentially still getting the same ingredients, it's just presented in a different way. A lot of schools do have a sushi bowl and they're quite popular, so consider a small or a larger size depending on your student demographic. So speaking of bowls, they can be bright, colourful and mix and match with a variety of proteins, veg and grains. They appeal to older students and staff. If I was to go down the road here and buy a sushi bowl from my local sushi place, it would cost me about $17. And a salad bowl from my local Coles would cost anywhere between $7 to $10, and they tend to have a lot of lettuce. So you could make a bowl that looks and tastes great and have it at that similar $8 to $10 price point. And you might appeal to staff who, then might come and use the tuck shop instead of picking up their lunch from Coles on their way in. So when deciding on bowl options, just think about ingredients that you can use in other dishes in the tuck shop, so you're not just buying in products for one menu item. Sandwiches. So it's great to still see sandwiches on most menus because some kids still do love them. So when you are offering some sandwich options, make sure you limit the number of toppings that you're offering. So ham, cheese, chicken, tomato, lettuce, cucumber, carrot. Think about wet ingredients when you're constructing the sandwich. If you're doing that sandwich prep earlier in the day, because no one likes a soggy sandwich. And if you are considering offering salad bowls, or if you have some salad bowls on there, think about ways that you might be able to have like a sandwich, a wrap, and a bowl that uses all those same ingredients. So could you have a chicken Caesar salad and a chicken Caesar wrap that you can make once, but have it in different presentations as it might appeal to different customers. So some menu must-haves for snacks. So popcorn, fruit cups, and apple slinkies were in those top 10 items purchased in 2025. Apple slinkies, they can take up a lot of your time if you've got to do 60 or so of those. So consider the volume of work that it may create before committing to having them on the menu. In saying that, though, it is an easy and fun way to get fruit into little bellies. Watermelon is a popular fruit choice, but not necessarily available all year. So, consider seasonal fruit salads, which might be popular for older kids and staff as well. Yogurt topped with fruit or muesli appeals to older students and staff, and it can be sold at both a brekkie service and a morning tea break. It can be made ahead and last a few days, depending on the topping that you use. Frozen fruit juice, as I said before, a snack that has stood the test of time. So you can freeze the cups as they come in, or you can DIY your own using 99% fruit juice. One school I visited recently even froze the pineapple juice that they used from their pizza day into large ice cubes, like the big square ones. And then sold them for 50 cents. And the kids couldn't get enough of them, and there was no waste in the tuck shop. So frozen pineapple rings and frozen grapes are also often popular frozen fruit choices. Ice creams and ice confections, so it can be tempting to have a lot of these options in your freezer. Just remember, the more options you have, the more stock you need to carry and the more space you need to have. So consider frozen yogurts, small ice creams, and ice confections. Remember to consider smart choices when deciding what to carry. Chrissy recently did a Facebook post on ice confectionery and what are those some of those items that are considered red. So jump on and have a look at that. And if you're not sure of what rating an item might be and you're having trouble working it out, just let us know and we can help you with that. Baked in-house muffins, banana bread, etc. are often a winner, again, particular with staff and older students. You can use a basic muffin base recipe, and each time you bake, add a different variety of fruit and or vegetables. Baking can often be done ahead, portioned, and then sold throughout the week. As I said before, snack packs are an easy way to sell healthy, easy snacks that can be consumed by both students and staff walking around on playground duty. Packs can include crackers, cheese, dips, eggs, veggie sticks, whatever you want and whatever you've got on hand as well. So some drinks to consider. So per the Smart Choices guidelines, plain and sparkling water are rated as green, as is low-fat milk. Flavoured milk is amber, as is 99% fruit juice. So carbonated juice is considered a red item due to the carbonation being linked to dental issues and its association with sugar-sweetened drinks. You might receive calls from suppliers pushing you to take their drinks, saying that they're amber when they're actually not. If you're not sure, just check in with us and we can help you. And if they're just being too pushy, feel free to hang up. Serving coffee to your students. So if you're in a high school, coffee style drinks are rated as amber, providing they've got a maximum size of 375 mils. And Smart Choices also suggests that hot coffee be made with reduced fat milk and not contain your caramel syrups and things like that. If you do have drinks available for staff only, so I know that this often happens, and and it makes sense. But if you do have some drinks that are for staff only, just make sure they're out of the view of students. We don't want to be tempting the kids into wanting to buy things that they can't. So just have them tucked behind the counter or at the back where staff know where they are. So in terms of the menu design, so a simple well laid out menu with 1 or 2 pages can be enough to cater for most preferences. Make sure it's easy to read, it's not cluttered, and it consists of enough items to encourage choice, but not that it's too overwhelming with choice. Aim for 4 main sections detailing what you've got available every day: hot lunches, cold lunches, snacks and drinks, and also have a section for daily specials if you are doing daily specials. The same can be said for your online ordering platform. Just make it really simple so it's easy for parents to find things. Think about rotating your daily specials to keep your customers interested, and you can also change your menu slightly according to season. Some high schools give students a choice of menu items in a survey, and the most popular ones get added to the menu for the following term. A system like this does have advantages, but you also need to consider the items that you're putting on there, making sure that they're cost and time efficient. There's actually no requirement for you to label your menu per Smart Choices guidelines. So you don't need to have traffic lights on there, or you don't need to say what's green, amber, or red. But we do recommend that you have the healthy items first on your menu, and have them first on that online ordering platform. So people have to scroll through to look for the commercially bought in items. If you have those healthier items first, particularly ones that you make in-house, people are going to be more likely to buy them, which is not only better for their health, but it's better for your Tuckshops bottom line as well. So you can use Canva to create a menu. You may be able to access Canva for free if you have an EQ or a school email address. If you are having trouble getting onto it, ask assistance of, say, marketing person, admin, your business manager, or someone in your PNC might be able to help you with it. If you're still really struggling with menu design, reach out to Chrissy and she can help you. And marketing and promotion. So I've said it before. I get it. You guys work really hard for a very short window of the day. Once prep, service, and cleaning's done, you're then ordering, doing finances, doing reporting. Marketing often gets left right to the bottom of your to-do list. However, unseen is unsold. So customers won't buy your items if they don't know what's available. So we need to make sure that our products are seen. So you can also recruit the help of your business manager or PNC executive to help you with this. So promotion can be done in many ways in a school environment, including publishing updates, new menus, any changes in the school newsletter. Utilize the school assembly to make announcements, or in high school, pop something in the morning notices that gets read out in homeroom. Use posters around the school, pop posters in the staff room, promoting your tuck shop, promoting special items, and get someone to post it to the school or the PNC's Facebook page, particularly if you're having a theme day, or you've got a special on, or you've just got something that you want to try. And as I said before, like the order that things come in on your menu or on your app is a way to promote things. So have those items made in-house up the top, so people have to scroll through and get past them to get to the commercially bought items. So some further resources that you might want to tap into. We have over 400 recipes on the Quast website that are all free for you to access. We have some example menus on there as well. I'm also in the middle of working on a cafe menu, so hopefully that will hit the website soon as well. And then there's the healthy menu planning course, so it's free, online, self-paced. It takes you through smart choices as well as how to plan time-efficient menus. You can complete it at your own time, and if you're having trouble with any of that, either getting onto it or completing it, just let me know and I can support you as needed. All right, so now I can go back to looking at the chat. Or does anyone have any questions while I'm reading the chat? Feel free to come off and ask. Oh, it's 3 o'clock already. I thought I was going to be a short one today. Um, yep, so someone's asked about smoothies. Oh, yep, making them to order. So yeah, smoothies are something that it's difficult to make in advance because they do separate. But if you're in a bit of a smaller school, making them to order can work well. Um, yep, freezing your frozen milk, excellent. Um, I thought someone asked a question about toasties. Did someone ask a question about toasties? Anyway, I will, yes, it is after 3 o'clock. So if you have another question, yeah, feel free to get in touch, um, and I can answer those. That's it for this term. Our first one of next term is going to be in Townsville, which will be face to face. So we won't have an online one until week 6 of term 2, which seems like ages away. But if you've got a topic that you want covered, just let me know, because we, yeah, are looking for some topics for next term. All right, have a great week, everybody. Enjoy your Easter break. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.